1975 was a year when R&B moved like a slow sunset, warm, glowing, and full of promise. Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes were breaking hearts with a sound you could feel in your chest. While Earth, Wind, and Fire were gearing up to take us higher than ever. These 10 unforgettable tracks remind us why 75 still echoes in the soul today. Number 10, Fight the Power by the Isley Brothers. Bold, electric, and unfiltered. This anthem hit in 1975 like a spark tossed into dry grass. Recorded under their own T-Neck label during a period when the Isleys were redefining themselves as both funk architects and social commentators. The track came from a moment of cultural pushback, when frustration met groove and turned into something unforgettable. What makes this story even richer is how the Isleys wove protest into pleasure. The grit of Ernie Isley's guitar, the thunder of the rhythm section, the way Ronald Isley snarled his lines, everything felt like a raised fist wrapped in velvet. Many fans don't know that parts of the song were improvised in the studio, capturing raw energy as it erupted. And if you close your eyes, you can picture it. Summer windows down, radios crackling, the world shifting under your feet as that chorus hit. The track climbed the R&B charts, becoming a defining moment in both their career and the decade's sound. Today, its message still pulses through samplings, tributes, and playlists, prove that some fights never lose their rhythm. And if that one carried fire in its bones, the next track carries the kind of warmth only 75 could deliver. Number 9, Hope That We Can Be Together Soon by Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. Soft, tender, and aching with longing, this 1975 gem arrived during a golden period for the Philadelphia international sound. Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes were deep into their reign as one of Philly soul's most emotionally rich groups. And this duet brought something new to their catalog, a quiet storm elegance wrapped in orchestral satin. Behind the scenes, the recording carried a special magic. Producer duo Gamble and Huff knew Sharon Page had the kind of voice that could turn heartache into poetry, and pairing her with the Blue Notes created a chemistry that felt almost cinematic. A lesser-known detail: this wasn't originally meant to be a major single, but after audiences reacted so strongly during early radio play, can you make it real soon? The label pushed it forward and it bloomed. Listening today, you can almost feel the warm hum of an old record player, the hushed hope in every line, the way the strings sway like someone waiting by the window for headlights to appear. The track reached number 1. One on the R&B charts, and still stands as one of the most delicate expressions of yearning from the mid-70s. If that song whispered to the heart, get ready, because the next one brings a smooth, late-night glow only 1975 could create. Number 8, Rockin' Chair by Gwen McCrae.
Daddy, ooh, let me be your rocking chair.
When Gwen McCrae released Rockin' Chair in 1975, it felt like someone had bottled the essence of a sweltering southern night and poured it straight onto vinyl. She was coming off a string of modest successes, but this was the moment her voice, sugary, sultry, and self-assured, rose into the national spotlight.
Walk me away from here. Let your
Signed to TK Records, McCrae recorded this track during Miami's fertile R&B and disco hybrid era, where every studio session seemed to shimmer with possibility. There's a sly bit of trivia here. The song was originally intended as the playful answer record to her husband George McRae's massive hit Rock Your Baby. But once Gwen stepped into the booth, the track became something all her own.
Come to me, honey. Ooh, let me be your rockin'.
Musicians recall that the groove locked in instantly, an effortless sway that made the entire studio nod along before the first chorus finished. Drop the needle today, and you can smell the perfume. Hear the soft click of platform heels on a club floor, and feel that warm, flirtatious confidence flowing through every bass line. The track became her biggest hit, soaring to #1 on the R&B charts and crossing over to the pop world.
Sexy baby, good loving daddy.
Its legacy lives on in samples and slow burn playlists, the kind that still make listeners lean back and smile. And if this one glides across the dance floor with silky charm, the next track brings a deeper groove that defined an entire corner of mid-70s soul. Number 7, Shining Star by Earth, Wind & Fire.
You shine star, and who you are, shine bright.
By 1975, Earth, Wind & Fire were no longer just a band, they were a movement, a burst of cosmic colors reshaping the sound of R&B. Shining Star, released on Columbia Records, came during a turning point in their career when Maurice White and the group were blending jazz, funk, and soul into something utterly their own. Recorded partly in a converted Colorado studio surrounded by open air and mountain energy, the song carries that sense of elevation both literally and spiritually. One of the most fascinating pieces of trivia, the guitar riff that drives the whole track wasn't planned. It slipped out during a jam session, catching Maurice's ear instantly. He insisted they build the song around that bright sparkle of sound, and the rest is history.
You shine star, and who you are.
The band later said they knew it was special the moment it locked into place. Spin it today, and it still feels like stepping into a brighter world. The horns blaze with confidence, the vocals lift you off the ground, and suddenly you're back in 75. Sun-catching chrome bumpers, radios hissing with joy, kids dancing on stoops as the chorus floats down the block. Shining Star shot to #1.
What your life can't you let me shine a star for you to see. What your life.
#1 on both the R&B and Hot 100 charts, becoming one of the most uplifting anthems of the decade. If this one lit up the sky with pure optimism, the next track pulses with a quieter, more intimate glow that defined the softer side of 1978. Number 6, Feel Like Making Love by Roberta Flack. Though first released in 1974, Roberta Flack's Feel Like Making Love continued to sweep through 1975 like a warm breeze you never wanted to end. At this point in her career, Flack had already mastered the art of quiet intensity songs that didn't demand your attention but captured it completely. Recorded under Atlantic Records during a period when she was increasingly taking artistic control, this track revealed her as both a fearless interpreter and a deeply intuitive producer. A little-known detail, Flack chose to produce this one herself under the pseudonym Rubina Flake, a bold move at a time when few women, especially in R&B, were allowed that kind of creative authority. Musicians later recalled how she shaped the session with near-whispered instructions, guiding each layer of sound until it wrapped around the vocal like silk. Listen now, and you can feel that perfect softness. The dim light of a living room lamp, the faint static of FM radio after midnight, the gentle sway of someone lost in a moment they hope never passes. The song glided across charts and hearts alike, becoming one of the era's most timeless slow burn classics. And if that one held you in a tender embrace, the next track carries the kind of slick mid-70s groove that knew exactly how to move a room. If these R&B gems from 1975 are stirring up memories, give this video a thumbs up. It helps keep this music alive for soul fans everywhere. And don't go anywhere. Our top 5 tracks are just getting started. Number 5, Walk Away From Love by David Ruffin. By 1975, David Ruffin was carving out a post-Temptations identity, raw, aching, unmistakably his own. Walk Away From Love, released on Motown, arrived at a moment when he was balancing personal struggles with a creative resurgence, and the result was a performance that felt like a man tearing open his soul right there in the vocal booth.
And it's not that I found someone.
Here's the part many fans never hear about. That soaring high note near the end, the one that feels like it could crack the sky, almost didn't make it onto the record. Ruffin pushed for a take where he went all in, while producers worried it might be too emotional. But Ruffin insisted, stepping back into the booth and delivering a version so gripping the room went silent.
And a dread that shakes my body.
They kept it, of course. How could they not? Listening now, you can practically feel the cold air of a snowy evening in 75, streetlights glowing, someone standing by a payphone trying to decide whether to stay or leave. Ruffin's voice rises, falls, trembles, carrying all the weight of a man trying to protect his heart even as it breaks. The song climbed to number 1.
Ooh, you're clinging to me tighter.
On the R&B charts, and remains one of the most powerful solo statements of his career. And if that one felt like heartbreak wrapped in velvet, the next track brings a smooth, easy swagger that defines 75's laid-back summer groove. Number 4, Sarah Smile, by Daryl Hall and John Oates.
Sarah, smile.
In 1975, Hall and Oates were still finding their footing, drifting between folk, soul, and pop influences. But Sarah Smile, released on RCA Records, became the moment everything clicked. This was Daryl Hall at his most vulnerable, writing for the woman he loved, and John Oates shaping the arrangement with that soft-touch Philadelphia sensibility.
I can feel you watching in the night.
The result was a song that felt intimate enough for a living room, yet polished enough for radio rotation. A fascinating behind-the-scenes note. Sarah Smile wasn't originally expected to be the duo's big breakthrough. It was tucked quietly onto their Daryl Hall and John Oates album until DJs began flipping the record and discovering this gentle masterpiece on the B-side.
Don't just stay until tomorrow.
Listener requests started trickling in, then pouring in. The label took notice. A slow climb turned into a national moment. Drop into the song now, and it's like stepping into a warm memory. Amber lighting, a faint scent of incense, the gentle sway of a couple dancing close in a small room somewhere in 75.
Oh, won't you smile a while for me, Sarah?
Hall's voice sounds weightless, Oates' guitar tender. The whole track breathing with a soft sincerity the decade embraced. It eventually became their first top 10 hit, paving the way for the legendary run that followed. If this one gave us a quiet smile, the next track brings a deep, sunlit groove that shimmered across every dance floor of 1975. Number 3, Love to Love You Baby by Donna Summer. When Donna Summer released Love to Love You Baby in 1975, the world didn't just hear a new voice, it felt a cultural shift. Recorded under Casablanca Records and crafted alongside producer Giorgio Moroder, this song was part of the emerging Euro disco wave, a movement that would soon reshape R&B, pop, and dance forever. Summer had been searching for her artistic identity, splitting her time between theater work and session singing. But this track changed everything overnight. Behind the scenes, the story was even more daring. Moroder originally envisioned a short, sultry tune, but Casablanca president Neil Bogart heard the early demo at a party and told them to extend it a lot. They went back into the studio and built an extended version stretching over 16 minutes, layering sensual breaths, shimmering synths, and a hypnotic groove that felt almost futuristic. Engineers later said the atmosphere during recording was so focused, so intimate, it felt like capturing lightning in velvet. Listen today, and you can practically see the dim lights of a 1975 dance club. Hear the quiet chatter before the beat drops. Feel the slow building rhythm pulling everyone to the floor. It wasn't just a song, it was a statement, a permission slip for a more open, expressive sound in R&B and beyond. The track became an international sensation, launching Donna Summer as the undisputed queen of the disco era. If this one shimmered with late-night allure, the next track brings the earthy, heartfelt storytelling that anchored R&B in 1970. Number 2, The Hustle by Van McCoy and the Soul City Symphony. In 1975, Van McCoy was already known as a skilled songwriter and producer, but he hadn't yet found that one song that would etch his name into music history. Then came The Hustle, recorded with the Soul City Symphony and released on Avco Records. What started as a simple idea dance McCoy heard about from friends visiting New York clubs quickly became a cultural earthquake. Here's the twist most people never hear. McCoy didn't actually witness the dance firsthand before writing the tune. The story goes that 2 of his friends described the moves after coming back from a Manhattan nightclub, and McCoy was so inspired he rushed into the studio. What followed was an instrumental track that felt like pure sunlight, radiant strings, buoyant rhythms, and that unforgettable flute line that seemed to float through every speaker it touched. Play it today, and suddenly you're back on a 75 dance floor. Mirrored walls, shimmering outfits, the scent of hairspray and excitement in the air. Couples line up shoulder to shoulder, hands snapping, feet gliding, the whole room moving in that signature step. The Hustle shot to number 1 on the Hot 100 and became a global phenomenon, turning a regional dance into an international craze. It remains one of the most iconic instrumental R&B dance tracks that ever pressed to vinyl. And if that one brought the dance floor to life, nothing, and I mean nothing, will prepare you for the emotion waiting at number 1. Number 1, Lady Marmalade by LaBelle. By 1975, LaBelle had transformed from a traditional girl group into a bold, futuristic powerhouse mixing funk, rock, R&B, and glam in ways the music world had never quite seen before. Lady Marmalade, released on Epic Records and produced by the visionary Allen Toussaint, marked the peak of that creative evolution. Patti LaBelle, Nona Hendrix, and Sarah Dash weren't just harmonizing. They were redefining what female groups could sound like, look like, and stand for. The recording sessions in New Orleans were legendary. Toussaint brought in some of the city's finest musicians, layering horns, percussion, and that unforgettable guitar riff. But the magic moment came when the trio stepped up to the mic and unleashed vocals so electric the engineers joked the meters might burst. One fun bit of trivia, Patti LaBelle originally resisted singing the now iconic voulez-vous line, thinking it felt a bit too out there even for LaBelle's wild creative streak. The producers convinced her, and history was made. Close your eyes and you can feel the groove of 75 rushing back. Neon lights reflecting off sequined outfits, clubs in full shimmer. The swagger of a generation stepping boldly into the future. The song climbed to #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and became a cultural staple, revived across decades through covers, samples, films, and performances. More than a hit, it was, and still is, a celebration of empowerment, attitude, and unshakable rhythm. If this one crowned our journey with pure brilliance, just wait until you revisit the next era on our list. From tender ballads to dance floor anthems, these 10 unforgettable R&B cuts from 1975 remind us why the mid-70s still glow so brightly in music history. Thanks for taking this soulful ride with us. If you enjoyed this countdown, subscribe to keep the groove alive and never miss our next journey through time. And on the end screen, make sure to click into our next video. 10 R&B songs from 1974 we'll never forget. And keep the rhythm rolling forward.